Hello everybody, welcome back to my 100% playthrough of Skyrim Anniversary Edition. This is Mole and I'm here with you today. I reinstalled the mod, the Glorious Doors of Skyrim. Hopefully that fixes the issue with the Solitude door. Right now we are here in Whiterun. We've been tasked by the museum curator to go get a artifact from Helgen, and this will kind of kick off our main storyline, so let's go ahead and do that now. Gonna get out the city, run over to Riverwood, go to Helgen, that kind of thing. I think you can take a carriage to Riverwood, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's just the main 9 holds. Let me check the carriage and find out.
Looking for my husband Nazim?
Nope.
Check the Jarl's back.
Nope, not looking for Nazim. He's a pompous ass. Let's go ahead and run down here to the carriage and see. Gotta get my stamina up so I can carry more and run faster and farther. So one thing I was looking at was some information from Spurg, and it has an additional benefit if you eat foods that increase your health or regen it, or your magicka or your stamina. It gives you points in it the more you eat.
My carriage is the safest
So,
way to travel. Where do you want to go?
Where do I want to go? Never mind. That's where.
All right.
It's worth a shot. I'm not even going to buy a horse. And Riverwood is over this way. Oh yeah. I forgot about the giant on the farms. Do we want to carry a bunch of cabbages? Maybe. And that maybe is a yes. Sorry if you guys hear my keyboard clicking. It's just, yeah, it just is what it is. Why am I collecting cabbages and leeks? Well, I'm going to make vegetable soup. Vegetable soup's really good about passively increasing your health and stamina regen rate. Allows you to power attack permanently. Stuff like that. Now I just need tomatoes and potatoes. Good enough. Or I can just sell the cabbages for like a gold per. There was no giant in the field, so I guess that doesn't trigger unless you've done Helgen. Let's put our sword away. We don't need it right now. Chicken. Imperial business. Yep. Hauling a prisoner. So I learned a little trick in Skyrim, and it works in a couple other games as well. I don't know why, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. But if you stop moving for just a brief moment, it'll kick your stamina regen into place. So watch. Run, run, run. Run, run, run some more. Oh, by some wolves. Yeah. Take the wolf pelts. Just stopping for a brief moment causes it to kick it into effect. Much better than if you just hold the run key, because it's constantly draining your stamina if you hold the run key. And it actually regens a little bit better if you already have some stamina when you stop running. Riverwood. And we're not going to do anything in town right now. Tempted to go get the Nern route, but we'll do a Nern route run later on when we get the quest. It's a very large wolf. Did I add something that adds an alpha wolf? Oh no, you don't get to run. Wolf pelt. Wolf pelt. We need these wolf pelts for later, so I'm going to actually run down and get the other two. This right here is a great place to get salmon roe. You can just use flames right at the jumping point, go collect dead fish and get the salmon roe. Let's go up here to the standing stones. I'm going to activate the Mage Stone, but first, activate the Thief Stone. Why am I activating the stones? Well, it's part of the museum. It actually puts stones in the museum that you can sign up with. And we're going to do the Mage Stone. The reason for the Mage Stone is we're going to be very combat focused, and increasing our magic skills is going to be secondary. So the thief skills automatically go up as we do stuff, except for speech. Speech is the only one that doesn't. Helgen. You know, I was sweet on a girl in Helgen once. She made great sweet rolls or something or another. Kick its dick in. Yeah. Alright, we want the pelt. The reason we want the pelts... Oh, I hear you. Who are you? Are you a hunter? Or something else? Oh, yeah. You're a hunter with a dog. Nice. No need for you. And my game's stuttering a bit trying to load Helgen. Because it changes the way Helgen is. Helgen's already been attacked by a dragon. This guy tells you it's been attacked, and that's that. There's Alduin. It gave us a level. I'll take that level here in a minute. Body turns to ash as you touch it, but somehow leather journal survived the attack. Read the journal. This journal contains several undated entries. First entry, hard to believe I filled up the whole journal already. Why would you write that at the very beginning? Never realized how much of Cyrodiil I hadn't seen yet. So much diversity, yet so much destruction from the Great War. A lot of history has been lost here forever. The expedition is ending soon, and everyone will be returning home. I have one last task to perform before I do the same. I'll send the other journal ahead with my supplies and the artifacts we recovered. Second entry. I've received word from my contacts in Skyrim. All seem quiet for now, probably for the first time since High King Torrig was killed. I should be able to make crossing quietly enough during the night, so as long as there's no Imperial patrols to deal with. Third entry. So much for being discreet. I crossed the border near a small village called Helgen and made my way up to Darkwater Crossing. Unfortunately, I can't get back to my camp now because the area is filled with Imperial patrols. It seems they are searching for someone very important. If I'm not mistaken, someone they intend to ambush here. This could be the very thing I'm seeking here in Skyrim, but crossing the border in the dead of night without passing through the checkpoints has turned to be a very bad plan. Fourth entry. I woke early this morning with an Imperial sword pressed to my neck. A patrol found me encamped under a rock outcropping on the edge of the volcanic marshes. I guess I wasn't as well hidden as I thought. I have no idea where they were taking us, but I've been stuffed into the back of a rickety old cart being pulled by an even more rickety-looking old nag. At least they let me keep my journal. For now. Fifth entry. Shore's bones, if I had only known sooner. They ambushed the captives in the cart with me. Stormcloak rebels, led by none other than Ulfric Stormcloak himself. There's no time to explain properly. I scarcely believe it myself. If it hadn't been for the dragon, I'd not even be here to write this down. Yes, a dragon, big, black, as large as the Tower's Keep itself, is swooped in out of nowhere and laid waste to the village and the keep. General Tullius didn't take my head today, or the heads of several Stormcloak rebels, but that doesn't matter now. Hadvar and Ralof set aside their differences to help the survivors. They went into the lower keep hours ago. Something about caves with a back entrance. I don't think they're coming back. I'll have to see if I can get out of the city and down to Riverwood. Someone needs to warn them. This building won't remain standing for much longer. I still can't believe it. A dragon. Straight out of the legends. Nobody back home will ever believe me. I don't think anybody back home will ever know because you died. So the idea here is to go into Helgen Keep. There's nobody in town. No survivor, I don't think. I think the guy we're supposed to meet is dead. It is what it is. We're going to go through the cave. Why not? It's an optional part of the quest to investigate the cave. And a great time to come get some free armor. Just a heads up, I do have the mod for Diamondized UNP, and it will make all the ladyfolk naked in my game. Just a heads up. But we'll have to be creative about censoring that sort of stuff out. Let's go on the other side of the keep. Because this side has treasure chests. Why'd I take the wine? Stats. Did you take the helmet? Empty. Alright, cool. Yay, books. Holds of Skyrim, a field officer's guide for use by officers of the Imperial Legion. Welcome, loyal officer of the Empire. You have been given this guide to help you and those men under your command better understand the geography of Skyrim. Since you'll be serving in Skyrim for a lengthy period of time, this information should prove invaluable. Skyrim is organized into 9 holds. A hold is a large area of land roughly equivalent to a county in Cyrodiil. Each hold is governed by a Jarl who maintains his court in each hold's capital city. 4 of these holds are fairly small and sparsely populated. As a result, the capitals are little more than towns. The 5 major cities of Skyrim act as capitals for the larger holds. Following is a detailed review of each hold. Eastmarch. Located in the eastern reaches of Skyrim, Eastmarch shares a common border with Morrowind. Jarl Ulfric Stormcloak rules from the ancient city of Windhelm, and he and his followers should be considered your most serious threat. Do not tread lightly in Eastmarch, for the Stormcloaks are at their strongest and most organized in these lands. As an Imperial soldier, you will find few friends here. Falkreath. Located in the pine forest of southern Skyrim, Falkreath hold borders Cyrodiil in the south and Hammerfall to the west. Its most prominent geographical feature, Lake Ilinalta, weird name, covers a vast portion of the region's central landscape. The whole capital, also called Falkreath, is home to the largest cemetery in Skyrim as a result of numerous battles that have taken place over the years. The remainder of the area is almost entirely wilderness, and the only other notable settlement is Helgen to the east. Falkreath's position in Skyrim is rather strategic for the Empire. It not only controls access to the Reach, Whiterun, and the Rift, but also acts as an important supply line in and out of Cyrodiil. Hafengar. Solitude, the seat of the High King of Skyrim and capital of Hafengar Hold, has always welcomed the Empire with open arms. Much commerce flows along the rivers here, and you will find the folk of this hold to be among the most hospitable in Skyrim. As you venture forth in your campaigns, be sure to maintain a secure supply line back to Solitude. The Empire maintains ample provisions in Castle Dour, from which General Tullius commands all the legions stationed in Skyrim. Hellmarch. This hold is divided evenly between windswept tundra dotted with farms and huge, stinking salt marsh. There's little of interest here, save perhaps this hold's capital, Morthal. Jarl Idgrid Ravencrone has been cooperative enough with the Empire in the past, but will ultimately look out for her own interest if put in a difficult position. While the hold offers minimal strategic value to the Empire, it would make an ideal staging ground for a Stormcloak siege of Solitude, and therefore must be held against the enemy. The Pale. The Pale is a barren realm covered by vast fields of ice and snow. Its boundaries stretch from the center of Skyrim all the way to its northern coast. Here, at the capital city of Dawnstar, can be found one of the busiest ports in the province. With access to the coastal waterways of Skyrim, Dawnstar could prove vital in the war effort. Should the Stormcloaks choose to attack Solitude from the river, this port would make a tempting target due to its close proximity. The Reach. Dominating the western border of Skyrim, the Reach is made up of entirely steep, craggy mountains, little groves in this forbidding realm. But the capital city of Markarth is nigh impregnable stone fortress that would make an excellent defensive position for either side in the war. Be aware that this dangerous region of Skyrim is home to the Forsworn, the rebellious natives of the Reach. They know the terrain, can strike without warning, and count the Empire as an enemy. If they attack, you must neither give nor expect any mercy. The Rift. This hold occupies the southeast corner of Skyrim, and much like the Reach in the west, is dominated by tall mountain peaks. The climate in the Rift is milder than the northern holds, and there is more vegetation to be found here. Farming thrives as a result. A word of warning about Riften, the hold's capital city. Our agents have reason to suspect that the Thieves Guild makes its home there, though it is now much diminished from its strength in previous years. Nevertheless, mind that your men keep an eye on their coin purses should they have reason to spend any length of time in the city. Whiterun. This central hold is characterized by wide grassy plains that are home to numerous farms. Many roads pass through Whiterun, joining the more distant holds together. The hold's capital city, also called Whiterun, sits high on a rocky promontory amid a large, flat swath of scrubland. Among the wealthiest cities of Skyrim, Whiterun has usually proven friendly to the Emperor's soldiers. Winterhold, the bleak, snow blown hold in the northeast corner of Skyrim is utterly inhospitable. Perhaps the mages at the College of Winterhold chose to make it their home there because they knew they would be left largely alone. As with Falkreath and Whiterun, the name Winterhold describes both the hold and its capital city, though the word city hardly applies. The hold capital is a meager village built near the Mages' College. Few other noteworthy settlements exist in this frozen waste, and it's unlikely to play any significant part in the war. So we're going to take that. Mixed Unit Tactics. Mixed Unit Tactics in the 5 Years' War, Volume 1, by Codus Colodus. The legions could learn from the unconventional tactics used by the Khajiit in the 5 Years' War against Valenwood. I was stationed in the Sphinx Moth Legion fort on the border near Dune and witnessed many of the northern skirmishes firsthand. The war started with the so-called slaughter of Torval. The Khajiit claimed that the Bosmer invaded the city without provocation and killed over 1,000 citizens before being driven off by reinforcements from a nearby jungle tribe. The Bosmer claimed that the attack was in retaliation for the Khajiiti bandits who were attacking wood caravans headed for Valenwood. In the spring of 3E 396, the war moved closer to Fort Sphinxmoth. I was posted on lookout and I saw parts of the conflict. I later spoke with both Khajiit and Bosmer who fought in the battle, and it will serve as an excellent example of how the Khajiiti used a mixture of ground and tree units to win the war. The Khajiit began the fight in an unusual way by sending tree-cutting teams of Cathay-Rot and the fearsome Sinche-Rot, or Battle Cats, into the outskirts of Valenwood's forests. When word reached the Bosmer that the trees were being felled, allegedly a crime in the strange Bosmeri religion, a unit of archers was dispatched from a larger conflicts in the south. The Bosmer were thus goaded into splitting their forces into smaller groups. The Bosmer archers took up positions in the remaining trees whose branches were now 20 or more feet apart, allowing some light into the forest floor. The Bosmer bent the remaining trees with their magics into small fortifications from which to fire their bows. When the tree cutters arrived the next morning, half a dozen Khajiit fell to the Bosmer arrows in the first volley. After that, the Khajiit took large wooden shields from the backs of the Sinche-Rot and made a crude shelter. The Khajiit, even in the enormous Sinche-Rot, were able to hide between this shelter and one of the larger trees. When it became apparent that the Khajiit would not leave their shelter, some Bosmer chose to descend and engage the Khajiit sword to claw. When the Bosmer were nearly upon the shelter, one of the Khajiit began playing a native instrument of plucked metal bars. This was a signal of some kind, and a small group of men-like Ohms and Ohmsrot emerged from covered holes in the forest floor. Although outnumbered, they were attacking from behind, surprised and won the ground quickly. The Bosmer archers in the trees would have still won the battle were they not having troubles of their own. A group of Daji and Daji-Rot, two of the less common forms of Khajiit who live in the trees of the Tenmar forest, jumped from one tree to another under a magical cover of silence. They took up positions in the higher branches that could not hold a Bosmer's weight. When the signal came, they used their claws and either torches or spells to fire. Accounts from two survivors I spoke with vary on this point, to distract the archers while the battle on the ground took place. A few of the archers were able to flee, but most were killed. Apparently the Daji and the Daji-Rot have more magical ability than is widely believed, if they were able to keep themselves magically silenced for so long. One of the surviving Bosmer told me that he saw a few ordinary cats among the Daji, and even claimed that these ordinary cats were known as Alfiq, and that they were spellcasters, but Bosmer are almost as unreliable as the Khajiit when it comes to the truth, and I cannot believe that a house cat can cast spells. At the end of the day, the Khajiit lost perhaps half a dozen fighters out a force of no more than 4 dozen, while the Bosmer lost nearly an entire company of archers. The survivors were unable to report back for a second company of archers arrived. This strategy was repeated again with similar results. Finally, a much larger force was sent to end the Bosmer, won that battle with the help of the native animals of Valenwood. That third skirmish and the Khajiit response I will discuss in the second volume of this series. So yeah, nice little book about mixed unit tactics. And I will be collecting books, again, for the museum. I just wanted to come in here and take some of the armors and stuff. Oh, hey, look, it's the same place we came from. We'll take some cabbage. Is there more cabbage in here? There is more cabbage in here. You're gonna make me go over this way to take the cabbage. See, everyone's already dead for me. Salt piles, minor healing, wine, gold. I like gold. Imperial armors, potions, more potions, rabbit. See, I love how it just kills everything down here. We don't have to worry about doing all this mess. I'm going to take the Book of the Dragonborn by Prior Emmeline Modrine, Order of Talos, Wayne Priory, year 360 of the Third Era, 21st reign of His Majesty Pelagius the Fourth. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's a little long. I'm just going to take the book. I'm not actually going to read that one. And why did I not read it? Because first try. See the symbol with the plus? That's the game telling us that we don't have the item for the thing. We're going to take that. When it has a hand on it, that means that we have a copy in our inventory for the museum. Thank you, museum. I do want bone meal. Notice how my light armor just increased. When you're running in certain types of armor in this mod, it will increase your skill in that armor, which reminds me of Morrowind a lot, and I really do like that. Linen Stormcloak cloak, cape. Iron battle axe. Okay. Hide shield. That's going to go in the museum. I'm going to take a longbow and the 12 arrows. also want to take an Imperial sword and a cape of Imperial. Now I am carrying too much. Let's take a look here. Okay, so I've got 2 Stormcloak capes. I can drop one. 2 fur boots. Drop too many bracers. Imperial Silver Cloak. I do not have that one. Okay. Take the arrows. And it's blocked off. But it was still worth exploring because of all the stuff I got to add to the museum. We'll explore the other side. We'll head back to the museum, and we will call this episode at that point. I'm going to try to keep the episodes between 30 minutes to an hour. I don't even want to really get them up to an hour if possible. Just is what it is. But we'll do what we can. I'm a person who will explore every nook and cranny. I'm a person who will also go through and collect everything I can, especially when it comes to the museum stuff. Alright, so now let's go out the back door. It's not gonna let us jump over there. It says to explore this as an optional item. Wonder why. Is it just to kill the bear? I came to see what was going on here. You need to go warn them now. There's no voice lines here. What? No, you don't understand. By Izmir's beard, are you daft? Oh, never mind. Just help me out of here and I'll come with you. Find me a healing potion. I'm too banged up to get on. Alright. Do you have the potion yet? Yes, I have a potion. Yes, I have one right here. I knew I could count on you. Alright, well. That's a hefty coin purse. There's like 39 in there. Alright. Alright, get out of the cave before it collapses. I don't know if the cave will actually collapse. I think it's all event mapped. Is that not the door? Thought the way out was here. One moment. Sorry about that, folks. I got a spam call. Evidently, I owe $5,000 in taxes somehow. Who knew? It's not true, but, you know, they like to say it's what you owe. Alright, now we can get out of this cave and we can go meet Rayloff in Riverwood, even though he's a scumbag of a Stormcloak.
There he goes. Looks like he's gone for good this time. No way to know if anyone else made it out alive. But this place is going to be swarming with Imperials soon enough. We better clear out of here.
Bro, I'm legal.
My
I didn't
sister,
cross no
Helgen,
border or
runs
nothing.
the mill in Riverwood, just up the road. I'm sure she'd help you out. It's probably best if we split up.
Sure is.
I wouldn't have made it without your help today.
Should have killed him. Could have killed him.
You know, you should go to Windhelm and join the fight to free Skyrim.
You should go fuck
See
yourself.
The true face of the Empire here today.
Yeah.
If anyone will know what the coming of the dragon means, it's Ulfric.
I have no intentions of joining the Stormcloak Rebellion. Buddy, you are barking up a tree you don't even want to mess with.
See that ruin up there?
Oh, you mean that one up there? Bleak Falls Barrow? Yeah, I see it. I'm gonna go up to this mine and discover it before I get into Riverwood. Ember Shard Mine, thank you. Still haven't taken my level, don't plan to for a little bit. Although I should.
A dragon! I saw a dragon!
What? What is it now, Mother?
It was as big as the mountain and black as
Hey, whatever you need.
the barrel.
Buy Ysmir if it's simple and strong. I can forge
I'd like to
it.
armor my horse. That's just funny. Alright, need any help around the forge? Yes, actually.
How about you smith me an iron dagger? Here's everything you need to make one. Go ahead.
Iron dagger. Yes.
That's a decent weapon you've made there. You looking for a new blade? Not bad, but it's a little dull. How about you sharpen it up? Just need a bit of metal and the grindstone over there. Iron
I've sharpened the iron
This
dagger.
looks good. You put time into your blades. They'll serve you well when you need them. You want to keep helping? How about you make some armor? A Let's start by tanning some leather on the rack. You the sneaky type? Ah, good. A lot of weapons and armor need leather for straps, fittings, that kind of thing.
We can make a ton of stuff, but he wants a hide helmet, I believe. It's just an easy beginner learn how to forge stuff quest line.
Need something?
Here's a hide helmet.
I should hire you. Let's improve the fit. Take this leather to the workbench over there. You have talent. Why don't you keep that dagger and helmet? Maybe you'll remember me when you're making Skyforge steel, huh?
Ha ha ha.
Aye.
And now, those are still steel.
Watch what you're doing. You can't take that. Stop, thief! Iron or steel is what you need. Leave that fancy elven stuff to the elves.
I'm a thief. Oh well. Alright. So we're going to go back to Solitude. Alright. Review Auron's notes. Bollocks. I'm going to drop some weight off at the museum and get some of our collection completed here. And then before I even try to go back and get the urn in Helgen and go talk to the Jarl and all that. So this chest is a display drop-off. You open it up, I can place items that be automatically sorted. So now, I go to my inventory, I go to weapons. We do one. We do one. Do the iron battle axe. Do the iron dagger. Do an iron mace. Do an iron sword. Do an iron war axe. Do an iron warhammer. Longbow has no place, believe it or not. Steel dagger. And we're going to keep our steel sword for the moment. I want to sort by armor value. Okay, so I'm wearing the best armor I can. Imperial armor, Imperial light armor, Stormcloak chorus, iron shield, iron helmet, hide shield. Torture's hood has no place. Hide helmet, fine. Imperial light helmet, Imperial boots, Imperial bracers, Imperial light boots, Imperial light bracers, Fur boots don't go, fur gauntlets don't go. Let's just put all the cloaks in there. Those don't have any place either. So notice my potions, my food, and my ingredients weigh nothing. I did leave the weight on for these items, things like that. I am going to put the aquamarine in there. And the reason that I did that, and I did leave it on for books, I guess, but the reason I did that is because the weights of this stuff just bogs you down and takes up way too much room. Would you like to display all the dropped off items? Yes. Now that should give us like 30 displays. Take the Curator's Guide. And that should lighten us up for a little bit. Alright, and we ended in Solitude. Let's go look at the Solitude front door again. 24 new displays.
Papa says I want some raspberry.
I was very tempted to go get his head and show the kid the head.
Being old's not so
Oh, the Solitude gate is still messed up, even though I did reinstall the mod. As you can tell, there's like a door pattern there that's supposed to be, so that's bugged, that's messed up. But all the other doors look great. The rest of the game looks fine. And on that note, I'm going to end it here. I'm going to go ahead and leave you all with this. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave in the comments anything you'd like to see in the series. Again, I'm going to be starting off doing some museum stuff and then main storyline and things like that. But, you know, if you like that I'm reading some of the books, like at least one book per episode or something like that, I can do that. But like I said, leave those in the comments. I don't want to bog down the episode with just reading the book unless that's what people want. If you want me to start the storylines for a certain specific group or something like that, you know, feel free to leave those in there. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.